So there's a hearing you might have heard about. J6? Insurrection? Congress? You might have heard about it. There's a guy. Based on the flag in his background, I'm guessing he's from Maryland. Now, I don't know who he is. I didn't also do a lot of research into finding out who he is. Mostly because I don't care. But he is on the J6 committee, according to this video. I'm going to just take this video at its face value and we're going to play it out and we're going to talk about it because this guy is hilarious.
Chairman, which is, it doesn't have to be like this because I actually serve on a bipartisan committee that gets things done.
A bipartisan committee that gets things done. Now, what he's referring to is the J6 committee, January 6th, insurrection, blah, blah, blah. The bipartisan committee, okay, technically, sure, there are a few Republicans on there, but only the ones hand-picked by Pelosi. You may interpret that as you choose.
And that is not obsessed with partisan polemics and invective and denunciation and combat and sees every piece of legislation as an opportunity to just club the other side. And that is the January 6th Select Committee. Well, I appreciate the laughter of my colleagues.
He said something that was so absurdly ridiculous. Everyone watching him burst into laughter. No one takes this seriously. No one takes this committee seriously. No one takes this guy seriously. No one takes, well, at this point, no one takes politics seriously. This is run by memes and retards. Let's let it play out.
Because some people have accused us of being partisan because all of our witnesses are Republicans.
Oh, no. Some people accuse us of being partisan because all of our witnesses are Republicans. When you say all of our blank are blank, that literally means you are partisan. All of our witnesses are Republicans. He's calling all of Donald Trump's staff, his assistants, his confidants, his advisors, as witnesses. Not one single Democrat is being called. Hey, listen, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say the J6 thing was really, really bad and there was an insurrection. Who opened the doors? Who welcomed them in? Who punched in that code to that big door and said, come on in? Who did all of this stuff? Who is Ray Epps working for? I would love if they would subpoena Pelosi and Schiff's phone records and email records to see how many times they contacted these people. But no, we are never going to ask any Democrats any questions. We're bipartisan.
You might not have noticed that, but then you might not be allowed to watch the hearings. And you can see Attorney General Barr there. You can see Mr. Stepien, who's Donald Trump's campaign manager, and so on. But the truth of the matter is that this committee is a bipartisan committee. You perhaps would laugh at your Republican colleagues. I wouldn't laugh.
Okay, this nonsense of, well, of course we're bipartisan, and perhaps you would laugh at your Republican blah, blah, blah. This guy, he might as well wear a red nose and a rainbow wig. He's a clown. Who is he trying to convince? You know, these are televised hearings. We can see with our own eyes. Well, who are you going to believe, me or your own lying eyes? You're an idiot.
Laugh at Liz Cheney, who was elected as the chair of the House Republican Conference.
Oh, Liz Cheney. Yay, Liz Cheney, the hope and savior for the Republican Party. You know, she is more Democrat than AOC, which is actually true because AOC is a socialist. She's not a Democrat. Same thing with Bernie Sanders. I'm getting a little off tangent here. Listen, Liz Cheney is... How do I say this? Liz Cheney is an absolute garbage person. She doesn't represent her district. She doesn't represent Republicans. I would be pressed to say she has any principles at all. I think she just follows the money, and I think she goes where the wind blows. Well, it's kind of like her father. Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, does it?
Was the number 3 member of the conference. I wouldn't laugh at Adam Kinzinger, who's a member of the National Guard Reserve and a distinguished member of the House of Representatives. But in any event, you're entitled to your laughter.
Yes, we are entitled to our laughter. People laugh when things are funny. You're funny. Like a clown. So, this goes on for another couple of seconds. It's not even worth playing. Who's he trying to convince? I'm not really sure. Most of the people that have watched this, they know it's a joke. They have presented zero evidence. They're not seeking any prosecutions. They're not really doing anything. It's basically a giant distraction. Now that's a good question. Distraction from what? Well, Hunter Biden is back in the news. There's some more email drops from his laptop from hell. Ashley Biden. Her diary is back in the news. Let's see. Have a bit of inflation. We have some more aggression in Ukraine, and we keep giving them money. We've got shortages on the formula. Diapers. Tampons. Fuel. Computer chips for cars. Oh hell, the whole country's going to flames, and we're going to focus on this? This guy is a tool for the distraction machine, and should be treated as such. I'm not going to give him any more time. He's obviously a very, very nervous man who's trying his absolute best to make his case for something that is just complete nonsense. But hey, we have the freedom of speech, so he's allowed to spout as much nonsense as he wants. We just don't have to believe him. All right, enough of that. You see that little green circle down there on the bottom? Smack it one time. Subscribe. Get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow.